Gender identity, and it is based on a very traumatic experience I had when I was about 15 years old. I went to school and one of my best friends killed himself because of gender identity. And this experience remained with me a couple of years. And later on, when I started to become a filmmaker, I met Marcel, the actor, and actually we know each other since 25 years. And the story basically came back up in my mind, and I transformed it into a screenplay and asked him if he would be ready to play the main lead, And he agreed, and we tried to get funding from the Swiss government, which was very difficult because of the issue, and because it's a film that I was intended to shoot in English, Normally they support French movies because we speak French and Italian in Switzerland, but with English language movies it's kind of difficult, So we started to produce the film with our own money, And it took us almost 10 years to finish the movie. And here we are, basically. When it was finished, we showed it to the government, and they really liked it. They said, it's amazing what you're doing. So we went on to do screenings, at the Cannes Film Festival, which basically opened the market to the world, because it's an English language movie. And there we met Manoj, and he really liked the movie. So that's how it, that's basically the story of the film and how it came to India.
And the title says that Diary of a Woman.
But
its film is all about LGBT community. What do you want to say about this?
It is the story about a man who lives his regular life. He's a teacher in a small village in the Swiss countryside, and his lawyer calls him and tells him that his mother, which is at the hospital, will never be able to go back to her flat. And he grew up with this mother alone, her and the little son. So he is basically forced to go back to the city in Switzerland, to Bern, which is the main capital of Switzerland, and to take care, to get rid of all the furniture and, move everything out. And he is there all by himself, and he tries to clean up everything, but he gets confronted with his past, and he finds a red dress that his mother was always wearing when she was going out at night, and he plays with the thought of, slipping into her character, basically, and he starts to experience it. He starts to experience the adventure his mother has when she was young, So he basically transforms slowly into the role of his mother, when she was young. So that's the gender identity, He feels that he is he feels the feminine side inside himself, and he starts living out this fantasy, and that's basically, the myth.
Look, have to be center from wherever questions come, but you should look in the center.
Yeah. Okay, so about your character. Yeah, it was really kind of a difficult play a character which is, as a feminine person. I had to dive into this, feminine side of myself and find out where can I get some, inspirations or whatever I felt when I was young, and so I realized there was always something which I could bring up, but it took me quite some time to really get into it. You know, we started filming maybe a few weeks or months, and it took time to really dive in and find what was needed to play a woman. And I had some trouble by night to sleep. You know, I couldn't find sleep. It was tough. It was very tough to get in and out. And yeah, I had to cut my hair more than 2 or 3 times, I think.
Shave completely.
Shave head. Yeah. So that was. I mean, I did some other movies, smaller roles or theatre, but this was really something I get on my limits, so physically and psychologically.
Yeah. So it's hardly 3 days to release actually, but we are still not able to see the trailer. I was just looking for a full-length trailer actually. Hardly we could see a little bit snapshot of this movie. So what is the reason behind this? You know, this is just 3 days to release and still trailer is not out in India.
I don't understand the question.
Only we are having a 1 minute teaser.
Yeah.
So there are no
Why
full
they don't have a dialogue
full
trailer,
length
a full
trailer with the
dialogue
dialogues
trailer?
and length.
Okay. We
Tell
saw
me
how
about
much
your strategy of the advertisement and PR strategy. What made you don't want to shoot the entire
We are
trailer
having a
with
1
the
minute
audio
teaser
and
only with the music
go
only.
small
No
teaser.
dialogues.
Go
Yeah, yeah.
small
That is
teaser.
okay.
What is the reason behind
So
this?
normally like after teaser they release the trailer also.
Yeah.
So die antwoord.
So basically it's a strategy
Yeah,
say
that's
to
the-
without the dialogue only the just feel of the movie. So people can go and watch the movie. They are more curious ke what is about the movie, more about the story and everything. That's a PR strategy you can say.
Manojji, what is the main trigger point to bring this film in Indian market?
Only thing is like to bring foreign cinemas good content to Indian audience, because nowadays people are more curious about the good content movie, not the sarcasm movie. That's why we are trying to release first time Swiss movie in India.
So what kind of collaboration we can see the Swiss government in this film?
Swiss government is supporting the release of the film also. It's a good thing. In India nobody support the independent cinema, but their government is supporting the Swiss producer to release the film in India. They are supporting in them financially also to release the film.
So you already said Swiss government is supporting this film. Have you ever tried to talk to Indian government or Indian people to show the film or anything like that?
They don't in India, you know, everyone nobody supports cinema.
So topic is very important, LGBTQ, as you know.
Any topic, if you go to Indian government is only supporting the big sarcasm things.
So I have a question from producer. This subject is very global, and the making of the time is very big, as told by Kate. It's taken almost a decade to complete the film. Okay, so how the things were changed in world in this last 1 decade, we can see in the film.
I don't understand. My English is not good enough.
ये फिल्म को बनने में ना
हाँ नहीं, वो तो उन्होंने स्क्रिप्टिंग से काउंट करते हैं ना. हमारे यहाँ पे तो हम फिल्मिंग को काउंट करते हैं. वो लोग फर्स्ट डे थॉट आती है वहाँ से काउंट करते हैं ना वो लोग. तो इनसे पूछो, हिज इंग्लिश इज नॉट दैट गुड.
Okay. So, sir, the film is taken almost a decade time to shoot and complete. So, the changes in the whole world was definitely multiple changes we can see. So, how the film will relate with today's audience?
I think you know when we started the film actually 10 years ago, it wasn't really an international theme, gender identity, back then as it is now. So we were basically ahead of our times, But it was such a, the experience I had when I was really young just stuck with me. And then when it became like a topic that was basically worldwide, I said, why don't we do it? Why don't we try this in Switzerland, And it was, for me, it was the most important thing is to find an actor that is believable as a male as he is believable as a woman, You can't just put on a wig and think, this male is now a woman. And I think Marcel actually portrayed it just, I think it's an Oscar-worthy performance that he did. And it cost us, it cost us a lot of energy, a lot of work together. We rehearsed it like every day, basically. We worked for like 12 hours, Sometimes some of the scenes, there's like a suicide scene when he tries to kill himself. I don't want to spoil the storyline, but we actually rehearsed it for a full day and a full night, and we actually shot the scene, I think, like 2 o'clock in the morning, And it was basically the whole movie. The whole movie evolved. I did big movies. I made movies with millions of dollars. Like 8-10 million. Like big epics. And I thought, if you want to really slip into a character, into his mind, we have to be a very small team. So we're basically just the 4 of us shooting this movie. There was a lighting engineer, and he put everything up, and then we sent him away, and then we shot it like in a very intimate way, And when you have the chance to do it, then you get the results that we achieved now, basically. Yeah.
So when it came in your mind first that you should release in India also, and basically, how do you consider India as a market for a film viewer?
You see, when I make movies, I don't think about the market, I think about my vision, which is the most important thing. If you want to be authentic, if you don't want to do, movies that are based on movies you already seen, then you have to be very original. And I never think about, what happens to the movie when it's finished, I only think about my vision, and I take a lot of time to select the people I work with, and I think that was the most important thing, to find a very, very dedicated director of photography and the set designer. We find an old apartment which was just perfect for the shoot, which is very difficult to find like authentic locations in Switzerland because everything is so neat. And everything fell into place, and the rest is just pure dedication, not about thinking of the market. We never thought that this movie will come out in India, and it was a lucky strike for us, we are very thankful for that, yeah.
So when you think of India, so why don't you think of having multiple languages like Hindi and other Indian languages? So do you have any plan to go beyond English also? So or just English only will be there?
You mean for my next projects?
No, for this project.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. That the concept of the movie is that there is very little on-camera dialogue. There's a lot of off voice that you hear during the film. So you hear basically what he is thinking. So that makes it very easy to convert the movie in any language you want. It doesn't take a lot of dialogue sync and stuff like that.
Talking about the timing of release this Friday on 12th, another 4 movies are also releasing on that day also.
Mm-hmm.
So don't you think any kind of competition or you have anything in mind?
You mean if I'm afraid that other movies will start on Friday?
Yeah.
No, not really. No, we see what happens. I think the topic of the movie is so unique that I think it has a real chance to be appreciated by the public, basically. Yeah.
And how many theaters you are planning to release in?
Around 100 cinema, because if my opinion the movie is good content wise, then it will survive in the more cinema. Like I'll give the example, one of the movie we released 6 months back, Marco. We started with 100 cinema, not 190 cinema in first week or 20th December, but content was good on 1st January, it was on 1500 cinema. And some of the movie we release in a 500 cinema, on, by Monday it will in 100 cinema. The movie is good, it will grow.
Are there any plans for before the movie release or after the movie release, any special screening for LGBT community?
Yeah, on the 11th of September we are keeping premiere, so we are inviting there.
Okay, and for media screening?
Yeah, on same day, the Shukla ji
On
will.
the same day.
On Thursday we are doing press.
In Juhu PVR.
Okay. So what are the expectations, by the way, from Indian audience for this movie?
You mean what I expect?
Yeah.
I don't really know the Indian, movie tradition that well. Some of the Indian movies came to Switzerland as well. And we always, from our point of view, looking at Indian movies, they're always very colorful, they're like light-hearted, there's a lot of dancing, a lot of scenes that they shoot in the Swiss Alps. And this movie is very much a contrast to that, It's not so much a make you good feeling movie, it's more like a psychological drama in the sense of like cinema of Cronenberg and David Lynch, which are, or even Polanski, which are my idols basically.
Yeah. 1,000 films every year.
Yeah.
Have you heard about any actor or films in India?
Of course we know Bollywood as an idea. Okay,
No, he's asking about the name of the actor.
Yeah, but I don't know
okay.
actors, I don't know movies. I don't
Are
know.
you aware about Bollywood movies?
Oh yeah, of course. It's, when we think about Indian movies, you think about Bollywood movies, and Shah Rukh Khan and all these famous people here. We all know them, but to actually to get Swiss films to India is difficult, and he's basically the links between the two countries. And I actually was already thinking about making a movie that really connects the two cultures, the Indian culture and the Swiss culture,
Suppose if you wanted to take any Bollywood actor for this lead role, who would be your first choice?
You mean for this movie?
Yes.
I have no idea to tell you. Unfortunately, I have no idea. I have no idea. And you see, you really have to know, you have to know the mentality of the people, which is, when you think about Swiss people, you see now a couple of Swiss people here, but you don't really know the mentality too well. And I think Indian people are much more open than Swiss people are kind of rather closed in, rather private,
But we would accept applications for the second
for the sequel.
for the sequel.
For the future projects, would you like to take someone from Bollywood star?
Yeah, I actually thought I came up with a storyline that I'm kind of working on, to do a film. I don't want to tell the storyline, but I actually told it to Manoj.
What would be your first choice from Bollywood?
They don't know any actor.
We don't, it's
By
difficult.
name, they don't know.
No.
You rightly said Shah Rukh Khan.
I really know Shah Rukh Khan, and actually for my next movie that I'm shooting in Europe, I'm hoping to get him for a small role, as a pilot, in fact, during the Second World War. So maybe it works because my wife, sorry that she couldn't come, her family is related to him, via cousins, which is interesting. So it would be nice to get him, maybe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. One more thing. So we want everyone to introduce yourself and just say what.
Aeby, I'm the director of Diary of a Woman, which is starting in cinemas this Friday. Go and see it.
Next, Marcel.
Yes, my name is Marcel Schneider. I'm the lead actor, the lead role in this movie Diary of a Woman, which is starting in India. And I'm acting for 20 years in Switzerland. I'm very pleased to be here in India.
You are the.
Remo Muggli, I'm the producer of Diary of a Woman, which comes to the theaters in India this Friday, 12th of September. You should go and watch it.